How do you avoid getting into drugs in your teens? Okay, so my answer would be church. So have a religious foundation. Number two, I would say don't hang around other teens who do drugs. Now I know that's a tough one because, I don't want to say most teens do drugs, but they experiment, right? So do your best. Oh, okay, let me give you my answer. How about that? How I avoided getting drugs as a teenager. I made a decision I would never, ever do drugs. And I stuck with that no matter what. And I also did a little bit of research of the detriments of doing drugs and how I did not want to disappoint my parents. So that's what I did. That's how I avoided doing drugs. I just made a choice not to ever do drugs. And I want to make my parents proud of me, and I didn't want the negative effects of doing drugs. Okay, so there you go. Drew or Evan, you guys have to tackle that question next. How do you avoid getting into drugs in your teens?
It's almost all environment.
Yeah.
Just you're hanging with the wrong people. That you stop hanging with the wrong people, it solves that problem. You don't have access to it. You don't even think about it.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
The reason why but I know people who got into drugs, and the people that introduced them to drugs was their brother or sister in their own household. So how are you going to avoid that? That's your brother or sister or your cousin that's in your family. And sometimes they're the ones that say, hey, smoke this, drink this.
Sure. We can design, it's a generic question, so we're giving a generic answer. You want to start adding wrinkles
factors
to it, right?
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I said that, and I'm not trying to interrupt again, like Kanye, but my sister smoked. And I decided I'm not smoking no cigarettes. And then I knew someone in my family who drank. I'm not drinking. I don't care. So in my own family, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So when I get around my friends, right, they're doing that stuff too. But it was almost easier, if you will, because I already said no to people in my family who offered it to me.
Sure.
So I just made a choice. I'm not ever going to do it. So I know what you're saying about environment, but what happens when, you're home?
Same thing. It shows up, you walk away. Like, can you find something else in your brother that you can love besides him talking to you about drugs? Is that the only thing you can talk to him about? It's not that far off from your business ideas. You tell your business ideas to your parents and they tell you that you're stupid and you can never do this. Who do you think you are to go and be that person? You stop telling them your business idea. You stop listening to their business advice or their career advice.
How did you avoid doing drugs in your teens?
The answer I gave. I did not have people in my circle who did drugs. That's how you get into it. There's somebody around you who does drugs.
Yep.
Like, you have to be educated on it. Somebody introduced you somewhere. Stop hanging around those people. And if it's your family, then stop spending as much time with them. Or when that comes up, you walk the other way. Like, that's the easiest one. That's step one. It's just avoiding it. If it's so loud in your ear because it's your brother next to you, then you also need to inject more positivity into it. You need to have more mentors. You need to watch more videos. You need to be around the people who are living the life that you want.
But the deception of it is so strong because it's like people are like, oh, I'm having a good time. Woo! It's like that. It's like this. It's a celebration. Everybody's having a good time. It feels good. The girl you're attracted to is doing drugs. Your mentor, your big brother, people you look up to. And it's like, it's so seductive because all these other people around you are doing it. And they're the cool people and all this. And you know what I'm saying? It's just,
I know.
And you're so
I was a teenager.
vocal and influential. It could be, you're so. It's easier to influence you at that age.
Yeah, but you're not. You're a teenager now. You're not. You're not 8. You still take a choice. You know what's right or wrong, and now is the time to start showing yourself it. Like you can complain and be upset about how people have different plans for your life, but until you actually start doing something about it, this is your time. This is your chance.
Even Morbius, he's like, not every drug is bad. Okay, all right, Morbius.
Well, that's another choice. Like, I've never smoked anything.
Me
And my
neither.
father smoked. Like my father had a pipe, cigarettes, nothing hard. But I never smoked anything.
Yeah, me either. Marijuana, cigarettes, any of that stuff. Drew, what you got on it? How did you avoid doing drugs as a teenager?
Well, I mean, so I fully support Evan's answer to this question because environment plays 99.999% of the factors of this particular issue. Got him.
Good
Okay,
job,
sorry.
Jerry.
So I'll be on. I'm probably gonna keep this short. So my sister my sister died from heroin overdose.
Oof.
For those who don't know, that happened 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow, recent, dude.
Yeah. It was a pretty rough situation. It was like it was Tuesday morning. I had just gotten onto a business trip. I was in Milwaukee when I got the call, and yeah, she fought with that stuff for years, and it really just truly boiled down to the people that she was hanging around and the environments that she was in, and that was like the sole reason that it was in her life. And I think a lot of people don't quite understand the repercussions that, if you make the choice, not only like it sucks on a couple of different levels. It sucks from the perspective of like being the person around somebody with that.
Mm-hmm.
But missed it. But like you like want to do something about it. You want to, make it go away in some way, and to put your family in that type of situation. Like for me, it's like I don't ever want my family to be in that type of situation where they have to question my cognitive ability or my just ability to take care of myself, which is kind of the situation that most drugs put you in. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That breaks my heart. Wow.
I mean,
Like it's so deceptive because I think people do drugs for only one or two reasons. One, because pleasure. It's gonna feel good. Everybody else is gonna accept me. I'm part of the group. I'm part of, and another part is because they're in pain. It's either pleasure or pain, or maybe a combination of both. And they're in pain, so that the drugs is to get them out of pain. Pleasure because who doesn't want to have fun and have a good time? But I don't think anyone does drugs with the intention of being addicted, and then it's taking them out one day. It's just that drugs, and you never know which drug is going to, be that demon on your back, where you become so addicted you can't break it.
yeah, and quite honestly, like the biggest thing is like a lot of that type of stuff is not manufactured in a way that's like actually sanitary. Like the reason my sister passed is because she wasn't actually dealing with like a straight variant of that particular drug.
Probably late, right?
It had something else in it, which basically caused her breathing to get so low that she couldn't get in enough oxygen. So it's like, I mean, it's just that like you just never know. So it's like
How it's
if you,
gonna affect your
if you
brain.
know that there's that potential, like why would it's just not worth risking your life over.
But that's the part that's, being in the entertainment industry, or at least was, well, still am. But you see people like your friend just died, so you just saw, River Phoenix, Pat, and then you think they would like not do it, but it's more than just logic, it's more than just emotions. It's drugs change how your brain is wired. The rapper who just passed away, DMX, he was addicted to drugs, but how he originally got addicted to drugs was his mentor, his big brother that he looked up to, laced his marijuana, and he never smoked before, but he laced his marijuana with crack cocaine. And as a teenager, I think he was 14 years old. Who does that to a 14-year-old? But when you're an older guy and that's what you're smoking and drinking, you're a drug addict. So, you're going to give, hey, man, you need to smoke this. And then you smoke it because this is the guy that you look up to that's teaching you how to write rap lyrics and teaching you music and stuff. But him at 14, having that crack laced the marijuana, he became addicted and stayed addicted the rest of his life until he had an overdose. And he's 14. So that's just a hard. That's just a hard question, But we gave our best answers. I hope that serves you. That's just a hard one. Because what happens when your environment is your home?
Yeah, but listen, if that's your situation, people have come through it.
Yeah.
Lots of people have come through it.
Yeah.
Lots of people have come through it. Lots.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard question. Great. You do hard things like this. Instead, it's just not your lot in life to now I'm just because somebody else was addicted for their whole life and they ended up in some catastrophe doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah, you can survive it and have a story and help save other people.